Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Oh god. After months and months and months and years and years and years of saying in CD Projekt Red we trust, the last 8 or so days have been pretty heartbreaking for gamers. Cyberpunk 2077 has come out in an absolute mess. It's just come out in a complete and utter mess. Sure, if you've got yourself a high-end PC, or you've managed to snag yourself a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, Xbox Phoenix, remember, then you might not be experiencing as many problems, but still enough. But we have to be absolutely clear that this game, Cyberpunk, was developed for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And the performance on those machines have been nothing short of a disgrace. An absolute disgrace. And instead of CD Projekt Red fessing up, the president of the company, a couple of weeks before launch, came out and said, it's surprising how well they run on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Just an out-and-out lie. To try and get people to purchase. And then, of course, we know what happened since the launch of the game. It's just been a bug-riddled mess. And I think also, to compound matters, some people are enjoying it. Some people not so much. Just you know, it's not the game they thought it would be. So there's kind of multiple levels of disappointment here with this title, but none more so than the ability not to be able to play it. My own personal experience has now come to an end. I was literally seeing one storyline through to conclusion. Had some bugs, sure. Definitely not as bad as some others, but that's absolutely irrelevant. My singular experience does not negate somebody who's having constant crashes, bugs, glitches. That's not the way it works. The product has to work as best possible for everyone, and as best possible on their architecture that they're using to run the machines. But I saw a story through to conclusion, but I don't want to play it in its current state. I want to play it when it's done and ready. And truly finished. I want to get that experience from the game. I want to get involved with Night City then. But they CD Projekt Red, of course, said, hey, look, if you want, you can go get a refund. But they were talking shite. They were talking out their arse. They hadn't formulated any agreements with Sony or Microsoft as regards to that. So all they were basically saying is, try and get a refund through your normal customer, satisfaction type of deals. So if your local game store would accept it back, you got yourself a refund. But if the game store wouldn't, or if Amazon wouldn't, or if Sony would say no, or Microsoft say no, it was tough. So they tried to make this statement as if they were being the good guys, but they weren't. They had nothing. So again, it was just like, you are just compounding the problem here. You're not helping the issue. You're making yourselves look worse and worse and worse. And it's destroying years and years of trust that people have built up. It's tragic. You saw what happened to Bethesda. You've seen what's happened with other companies and the way that they've gone down this road. But if that's the kind of company you want to be, that's the kind of company you want to be. So, anywho, let's jump to this. Ask PlayStation, where they say, we have now set up refunds. And not only that, but we are removing the game from our store. Digital store. Cyberpunk 2077 refunds. Sony Interactive Entertainment strives to ensure a high level of customer satisfaction. Therefore, we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased Cyberpunk 2077 via PlayStation Store. Sony Interactive Entertainment will also be removing Cyberpunk 2077 from PlayStation Store until further notice. Wow. So not only are they saying, look, if you bought it digitally, we'll offer a refund. Obviously, that's going to come off CD Projekt Red's bottom line, not Sony's bottom line. But obviously, they'll lose their cut. But they're removing it from the store so people, I imagine, can't purchase and say, I've got buyer's remorse. They're trying to just get rid of that element. And you can understand why. And particularly with CD Projekt Red saying, we're going to roll out another patch, I think, sometime next week. And then there's going to be a major patch in January. Then there's going to be a major patch in February. But that's only committed through what I've just said. They're not saying what the patch is going to contain, how it's going to fix. They said they'll put that at a later date. So obviously that's got to come through before we can say they have held their word as regards to that. And the only reason why I'm being slightly cynical as regards to this is, remember Anthem? No, nobody remembers Anthem. But one thing that they did after their disaster launch, of course, was go down the road of, hey, we've got a roadmap of content planned ahead and how we're going to do stuff. And that roadmap lasted approximately because they couldn't stick to it at all. And then they've just basically closed the game down. They haven't closed the game down, it's still going. But they've essentially stopped any work on the current version because they're trying to build a different version of Anthem now to be released 2022, I don't know, whenever. Once we have confirmed that you purchased Cyberpunk 2077 via PlayStation Store, we will begin processing your refund. Please note that completion of the refund may vary based on your payment method and financial institution. Essentially, if you bought it on a credit card or something like that, may take 5 to 7 days to get back on your credit card. All that type of normal jargon. CD Projekt Red have responded to this from Sony, and they've said, following our discussion with PlayStation, a decision was made to temporarily suspend digital distribution of Cyberpunk 2077 on PlayStation Store. You can still buy physical versions of the game in brick and mortar stores and online. All purchased digital and physical copies of the game will continue to receive support and updates as we continue to improve our experience. Your experience, even. I think you need to update your own experience of dealing with people and talking to them. According to our knowledge, starting today, everyone who is not willing to wait for updates and wants a refund their digital copy of the game can do so by submitting a request at this link. We are working hard to bring Cyberpunk 2077 back to PlayStation Store as soon as possible. Well, if that's the case, I would say that they can't bring it back to the PlayStation Store until at least after the February update. Because they've laid out a plan of updates for the game. So to me, it wouldn't make any sense whatsoever to put it back up on the store when you know that you're still going to be further patching the game with a major update in February. So I'm going to speculate that we're looking at maybe a March-ish time or late February at the return, if they stick to their current plan of updating, of a reintroduction to the PlayStation Store. Now, one thing that is missing from this is Microsoft. There's been no word about Microsoft and their policy as regards to refunds. It must be, regardless of whether or not, Sony, Microsoft, these are massive companies, regardless of that, it's irrelevant. This whole matter must be massively frustrating for them and massively annoying for them, particularly as Cyberpunk 2077 was meant to be one of those massive games that you got to play on your next generation of console, not just current generation, the next generation, of course, which was coming out. So the frustration levels there must be huge. Sony have made the first move, so I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft followed suit. Now that, on a personal level, is interesting to myself because I made a digital purchase of Cyberpunk 2077. And because now I've made the decision that I don't want to play it in its current format, would I refund the game? Should I refund the game and wait and see if CD Projekt Red actually stick to their word? I'd say yes. I say yes. I'm quite happy to lose my save, lose my position in the game, having to restart from the very beginning. I would be more than happy to do so if the game that I got back, if I decided to purchase at a later date, was actually a finished and fully realized product. So if Microsoft offer it, I think I'd take it. I truly do. I think I'd take it. Also, what I just briefly said there was, once you do get a refund, getting those people back is hard. Getting those people back is hard. So once people have asked for a refund, getting them to part with their money again for that product is going to be very difficult for CD Projekt Red. And the only way that they can do that is to rebuild trust. But when you've shat all over people and lied to them purposely, that's where you lose your trust. And I've got no sympathy. If I'm going to be critical of Anthem, if I'm going to be critical of Fallout 76, if I'm going to be critical of Blizzard Entertainment, if I'm going to be critical of Activision and all these other companies, then you, as CD Projekt Red, have to be held to the same standard, and you fucked right up. And you took all your goodwill and fucking flushed it down the toilet. Why would you do that? Well, we know why. The almighty dollar. The almighty dollar. So there we go, folks. You have an out on PlayStation if you bought it digitally. I probably would advise that you take it and then make sure that they complete a product before contemplating parting with your money again. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming links. They're in the description box down below. I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.